Hello everyone, it's Carla from Casey Creates. And in case you didn't watch the first video where I was showing you some of my garden and botanical books, I'm just splitting it up so that I can keep them at about 20 minutes and not be too terribly long. But I recently added some books to my collection. Actually, this one I've had for quite a while. And you may be familiar with it. I bought this one brand new off of Amazon. It's called Floriography, and it's an illustrated guide to the Victorian language of flowers. And I guess once I got it, I wasn't as impressed as I thought I would be, and it was damaged a little bit. And I wasn't happy about that because it's a brand new book. But it does have beautiful images. I love the muted gray tones in the cover page. I'm gonna probably collage or something on that. So it's a beautiful book, but it's not vintage or anything, so I feel okay about cutting it and collaging with it because it's easy to get another one. And these are all just the names of the flowers, the meaning, the origin, and then sometimes there's little mythical things that go along with the meaning of each flower. So I won't go through all of them, but they are beautiful drawings, and I like that they're kind of in this darker, muted kind of background, because that's a bit different. Normally they're on more of the vintage, aged, tea-dyed looking paper. So that's the bluebell and the buttercup. So these are all just paintings. There's the cattail and the chamomile, chrysanthemum. I love clover. I just always loved that flower. I would, you know, tie these and we'd make clover flower crowns. We also did it with daisies, but I remember doing it with the clover flower a lot and having to be careful for the bees. There's the cornflower, which I think is a really pretty flower too. I love cornflower blue, that color. I'm just going to stop at the ones that are familiar to me. There's the dandelion. I wonder what it says about the dandelion. Associated with wishes and fortune telling. Well, it is associated with wishes, because I remember you take a big puff of it and make a wish and let them float off into the air. Every childhood has memories of doing that, I think. And there's fern. There's my forget-me-nots, which also have that cornflower blue color. Oh, there's the hydrangea. If I could name my favorite flowers, hydrangea would be in the top 5. Pansies, hydrangeas, daisies, roses, and tulips, I think. Forget-me-nots are right up there with hydrangeas. Magnolias. How do you say that? Monkshood? Monkshood is linked to chivalry, thanks to the shape of its purple petals. They resemble a medieval knight's helmet. Oh, they actually do. Interesting. So as you can see, I'm looking through these with you probably for the first time. Love oak trees and acorns. It's very woodland to me. And so I'm going to go back and read through these. There's the pansy. Today was a wonderful day of just pulling things out and slowing down a little bit. There's a poppy. And there's a beautiful rose. The violet. zinnia, and then bouquets. So this is a beautiful book. And again, it's the Florography book. Jessica Rue, I think is how you say that. R-O-U-X. Now this one I just found actually today when I found that garden flower book. I went next door to the antique store, and this was a part of a book set, so it doesn't really have any. This was the one on roses. They had several. It's the Time Life Encyclopedia of Gardening set, and this was the one on roses. In the beginning of this one, it's all photographic images, so I probably won't use them that much in the beginning, but when I kept thumbing through, I found that almost a third of the back have these beautiful roses that are already framed, so you could just cut them out and immediately start making tags. So this is an illustrated encyclopedia of roses, meaning it's not photographic, they're drawings. Get it in frame properly, so you can cut them out. The only thing is you have to pick which flower you like best, because there's one on the front and then there's another one directly on the back. Excuse me, but they're all so beautiful that it wouldn't be hard to do. And then you could just mount them on a sturdier piece of cardstock with tea-dyed paper and, you know, distress it around the edges a little bit and ink around the edges. And there's just tons of them. So I thought that was definitely worth it. And it tells about each rose. And they're really, really pretty. So I just happened upon this one. When I found that first book at the little used bookstore, I thought, well, I'll run into the antique stores, because there were 2 antique stores as well. And then I realized that's probably the best place to find the vintage botanical books, at least in my area. So there's that one. And then this is that botanical sticker book that I've been seeing people haul a lot, probably over the last year or 2. And this one, if you haven't seen it, there are videos all over YouTube with people showing their copy, so I won't go through all of them, but there in between there's this really pretty designed paper in between each one. Those are the succulents. I'm not a big fan of succulents. These are really neat framed pieces with initials and letters that you could use in your journaling, and they're not really shiny, so they would really work out well. If you didn't like the white edging around them, like right here, you can fussy cut it even closer if you wanted to. But it's a really nice book. And then they also have, which you probably have already noticed if you've already seen this book, little framed stickers. So if you peel it back, this would be an oval, the negative space would be a white oval, and then you'd have the frame. And there's an aquatic one with coral and ocean plant life, and there's another one with frames and beautiful dragonflies, and they're all stickers. I love this one with the orange blossom. It's so pretty and exotic looking. And this one peels back into a rectangle. So I'll just zip through here quick. I think, are these orchids? I think these are orchids. Bugs and butterflies. There's more orchids. I used to work in a greenhouse and I knew a lot of my plants. The names are sort of leaving me now. Some lilies. Oh, they're just so beautiful. Look at these. I love that shade of purple and lilac. See, it's like a nice soft shade. Okay, well, I won't go through each page. There's some more Bird of Paradise. Ooh, those are rather odd looking. Look. Interesting. Very cool. That's another one. Interesting. I thought there were some that were mushrooms in here, but maybe not. Ooh, that's pretty. It's another one that peels back so you can frame something. Ooh, trees. Yeah, see, woodland. Those are pretty. Evergreen tree. Oh, these are nice. So thanks for looking through the books with me. Yeah, they do have fungus. Oops. See, I don't want to do that. I don't want them to start peeling and then sticking to each other. That would not make me happy. These are my favorite. I think we all like the red ones with the white spots. Anemia, or however you say them. Ooh, some more cool ones. And there's another very exotic looking tropical page. Almost looks like it's on fire. It's so vibrant. These are pretty. Yay, I love morning glories. That makes me laugh. It makes me think of my friend's dad, who used to pick us up every morning, and he'd either say morning glory or he'd say morning sunshine. Nice memories of getting up to go to school. At least he was bright and happy, because we certainly weren't bright and happy about going to school. Ooh, that's another exotic looking one. Bold, vibrant. And back to a few more succulents, grapes, some palms. This one is some of everything. Palm trees. Are those zinnias? Pine cones. Fungi. Water lilies and dragonflies. How pretty. I love that. That's a whole theme to me. I could take off from that. So look at those. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. I hope you all are doing well. I'm really hiding out from the heat. I'd rather be outside enjoying this beautiful nature, but I'm not a fan of 90+ degrees. Does me in, it wipes me out. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping and praying that next week is our last brutal week of heat, which is supposed to be breaking records up in the upper 90s next week. So unfortunately, I'll only be going out to do what I absolutely have to do. And there are unfortunately more things on my list than I want to acknowledge, because I don't want to be in the heat. But I can look at the beautiful botanical images and hope for cooler temperatures to get out and actually enjoy them. So that was the botanist sticker anthology. What else can I show you? I'm at 14 minutes and I'll maybe show you all of these at once. This is the country flowers of a Victorian lady, which is another popular one among those that like to journal with botanicals and flowers. And I know why people love this one, because the pages are wonderful, the coloring of the pages is beautiful, and the text is gorgeous. Look at that script. And let's see, if you're not bored, I'm just gonna enjoy looking at this. See, because even the little, oh, you can't see that, the little corners have these beautiful images that can be fussy cut. And I only have one copy of this one. it wasn't very easy to find, so I'm not sure I'll start cutting this one right away. But look at that. Look at that beautiful font. The old English looking calligraphy. So I could see inserting tags like this in my enchanted forests and castle kind of journals that I like to make, kind of the fairy tale theme. It reminds me of Cinderella, or you know, just some of the old fairy tales where it's in a forest far, far away. There's a castle and that kind of theme. It's just a beautiful book. And for people like me that love the tiny little things, I would totally cut that out and make a tiny little tag. And even the coloring, it's like a nice gentle palette as far as colors, kind of soft and muted. So I love everything about this, and really want to just sit down and then take some time and enjoy it. Was that other one Christmassy? Yeah, to me it's Christmassy. Holly. And I can't read the script because it's so decorative that I wouldn't be able to read it very well upside down. But I'll go back and read them. Look at that beautiful image. The pansies. Water lilies again. Ooh, fuchsia. I do love fuchsias. They're so pretty. Look at that one. So pretty. Yeah, so these copies are still available, but like most of these, when there's a demand, the price is quite high. So I can't remember, but I think this was $14 on Thrift Books. And sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't, and then when they do, they can be higher than that. So it's just a bit of luck to find the ones you really want. And then because I think I'll have trouble cutting this one because it's the only one I have and it's just so pretty, I ordered this, which was quite a bit cheaper. It's called The Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady, and it is just a card collector folder type book. So I thought I can cut these much more easily than the actual book. So that's why I bought this, and it's really cool because it's got these pockets. So you can be kind of creative with, you could fold it and make a whole book with these, and you know, embellish the pockets. You could even cut out the dated part and use it as a tag for journaling. But I could see myself being okay with cutting these. So that's my plan, to use the card collector images first, and then if I happen to get my hands on another copy of the actual book, I won't have such a hard time cutting up those images. So these are really pretty, and I'm looking forward to crafting with this one, and oops, sorry about that, instead of this one. And then I've got this small little book, which I'm going to show you. I have a stack of small ones because I find that they fit in the size journals I make much better than the big ones. And this one is only 6 by 7. And this one is another one that's just a dated one. It's a book of days. So I'm going to guess it's more of a journal or diary. Yeah, they call it a diary. But look at the beautiful coloring, and I kept thinking there was something on the page. It's just the little specks that are in the print. And again, this one will be easier for me to cut up. They do have the actual book And I thought I owned this book, but I guess I don't, which is okay. They also, I hate to say it, but they do all start looking the same eventually. So I also feel a little better about cutting this one up. And I purchased this one used, so every now and then I'll see where whoever owned it wrote the name of somebody and the date they were born. So Zach was born in 1986, and she's remembering that's his birth date, January something. So on one side there's the month. So Jason, whoever he is, was born February 23rd. It could be family members or grandchildren, or anyway, I find it neat that these pages already have lines, so these could be the backing of a tag, and then the front could just be the flowered page. And there's tons of them, and they're a really nice size, so I'm going to use these for tags first and then save the other ones. Isn't that pretty? Look at that pop of pink up there. Anyway, I love this one. So if you wanted to look this one up, it's called A Victorian Flower Album Book of Days, and I do think there's several of those available online. And then at the used bookstore I went to a few weeks ago, I just grabbed some more of the really small books because they make immediate tags in the size that is manageable for my journals. This one is Christmas themed, and I like that it's got Christmas verses and Christmas carols, and so you can use an image on one side and then put one of the verses on the other side. There's a little short story or two. I think Gift of the Magi is in here. Isn't that adorable? Look. And then that beautiful little flowered one. And then the cover papers inside are really bright, interesting flowers. This is just the book jacket that I tucked in here. And then this is another sweet small one that looked kind of vintage to me. It's called The Book of Hugs. And oh, I think so many people need hugs right now. I was in downtown Waxhaw today, and I saw two people get pulled over and one lady reaming out another lady for whatever she thought she did wrong in traffic, and it got so heated they called the police. Now I'm telling you, I don't live in a town where there's much excitement at all, so that was considered drama. Sorry, I need to take a drink. And it was also quite hot, and the buildings in Waxhaw are historical buildings, and a lot of them don't have air conditioning, so it cut my browsing short. I thought there's a little more excitement downtown today than I'm interested in, so I just kind of made it a day after a couple shops. There are gentle hugs and tender ones for feelings that are sad. Hugs that say, I'm sorry when someone's feeling bad. Love these teddy bear images, so cute. There are happy hugs for saying, I'm glad you're here today, and ones that say, I'll miss you every moment you're away. Cute. Anyway, I like the little vintage teddy bears. Super adorable. Look at them hugging an X and hugging the O. Aww. And I love these empty pages that make great tags. So I picked that up. These were all just $1. This little Jane Austen book, which I haven't read, but I just like the size. It's cute. Let me see, what does it say? The fifth child of Hampshire clergymen of modest means, Jane Austen was more highly regarded among her family for her skill with the embroidery needle than for the sharpness of her wit. Oh, I didn't know that she was also good at embroidery. Anyway, I think this is a cute little book just for reading and, you know, sticking on the side of an end table when you're bored and need something to amuse yourself with. This one was sold in, what does that say? Something Vermont. North Pomtret. Anyway, again, too tiny, can't see it, but I got that little one because I think it makes great little conversation book. And then this one, a bouquet from the kitchen, and this one is cute because it's got little recipes. And at some point I do want to do a little kitchen kind of themed journal with recipes. A cookie jar of memories, and I liked it because it has a lot of those same little Victorian and vintage looking images. He's adorable. I use yeast foam. Okay. The charms of chocolate. This is cute. So there's also cute little verses and sayings. The ornaments of the house are the guests who frequent it. Oh, I like that. The gracious hostess. There's a recipe for a most congenial coffee cake. Oh, I might do that. We had a tradition where we had coffee cake every Sunday morning, and so I do that once in a while here at home. Maybe I'll look at that and make that really quick. Everybody's off doing their own thing. It's Saturday evening. My son just started a new job where he's working on the tarmac at the airport, doing things like, they already have him marshaling the planes. Imagine that. It just started 2 days ago. But I think he'll be happy. So he's there, my other son's busy, and my husband's enjoying this concert, the New York City homecoming concert. So there's some people that he wants to hear. And I'll probably join him here in a minute. Classic conclusions. So anyway, that's another sweet little one. And it is called A Bouquet from the Kitchen. So did I show you everything that I was hoping to show you? I think I did. I have some that were in my list of downsizing, and then I changed my mind on these particular ones. This one is The Language of Flowers, and many of you have probably seen this one. I'd already pulled these pages out to make tags out of. I don't know. There's just a lot of these images that don't resonate with me, and so I may not. I'm probably going to still put this in the giveaway pile. And the same with this one. This one's called Victoria's Words of Love. And I just, some of these images, I'm not sure how I work them into my crafting. But I found these at a thrift store. So I assume somebody else might like to happen upon these at a thrift store if I redonate them. And then this one, I used to have several of these, and I've always ended up getting rid of them. I like them when I see them in the store, and then I get them home and I just can't, you know, wrap my mind around how I want to use them. But again, it's got those beautiful vintage looking images, so it's very enticing when you first see it. You're like, oh, this is beautiful. And it also has these really old, thin pieces of parchment in between, but they're basically just decorative framed pages for you to put photos in. And I know I won't do that, and I used to have like several, and they take up a lot of room, and so I've been going back and forth about this one because they make, I guess if you cut them, they'd be a really sturdy tag. So this is one that has beautiful images, but I've had it forever and still haven't found use for it. Look at how old the edging, the edges are like really patinaed. But you can happen upon these quite easily in the thrift store. Those raspberries look pretty. And then I guess this is where you would journal about each page what's in there. So, but the only one that I went through and just really enjoyed reading is this one. I've had it forever and I never took time to read it, and it is just like taking a journey into the most idealistic places in England, and I would love to go to some of these places. I've never been to England except the airport, and I'm not sure that counts. I've flown in and out of Heathrow Airport a couple times, but I would love to just go to these places. Some of these little towns just sound so perfect and help my image of what I think a beautiful countryside or chateau or, you know, beautiful English gardens would be like. And so I took some time and started reading this one, and then I realized I don't want to get rid of this book. I'm going to keep this one, finish reading it, and dreaming about sometime visiting these places. Like forever, I didn't know what the maypole was, and this little section talks about the celebration of spring, and they have a little image of the maypole there. So I know a lot of people dream of America and coming to America, but I think as Americans we do the same thing with other parts of the world, and England is one of mine. I love this image. I was liking to think these were just ruins of a castle, but it says that they're ruins of a, I forgot what they called it, an engine house. Anyway, I'll say that they're castle ruins. So pretty. This is Cornwall, which I'm told is a beautiful seaside, which the book says anyway. And it looks like it to me by the perfect images of the photos. I mean, look at that. It's probably scones and Devonshire cream and little, I don't know if they call them tarts or what, but anyway, all looks yummy to me. And crumpets. We would pretend that we were having tea and crumpets when we were kids. They weren't crumpets, they were probably just my mother's biscuits, but it was a fun way to play. So anyway, this is a really fun book. It's by the people that published the Victoria magazine, and this is called The Heart of England. So I have jabbered on and really enjoyed my books a lot more because I was able to enjoy them with you. So thanks for looking with me. I'll be back with another video soon, and until then, stay happy and healthy and happy crafting. Bye.